It's the summer and I'm back in my bleach blonde era. Let's have a video that shows you the entire process and is full of loads of global bleaching top tips. Sorry, what was that? Oh, do you want the formula? Well, that's in this video too. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me. I'm Craig and this is my channel where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. I am giving full Kenergy. Yes, I am. I'm giggling to myself because my t-shirt matches my phone case. Hilarious. So you already know from the thumbnail, probably, yes, from the thumbnail and from the little splashy intro that I did there. I'm blonde again. You've seen it in a couple of videos. I absolutely love being blonde. I do it once a year, sometimes twice a year, but I do it once a year. And yeah, it's not a whole different Craig because Craig doesn't change, talking about myself in the third person, but I really enjoy it. And I thought that whilst it was being done a little while ago, I thought, why don't I capture the process so that I can, and I caught all of that in portrait mode, yes, so that I can share it with you. And along the way, I can give you lots and lots and lots of tips for global bleaching. Because I know that it's a thing I get a lot of questions about, and I know that a lot of my content on here has had a lot of views. And as you know, this channel is all about me sharing what I know with you so that everybody can have great hair. Okay, and of course, yes, of course, don't forget the formula for my toner is in here too. So that's enough of an intro, let's get on with it. So it makes sense to start at the beginning, and if along your journey of watching this video, thank you for coming and watching, but if along it you find that you're enjoying it or you find it helpful, you know exactly what to do. But it makes sense to start at the beginning, and that is, how did I prepare my hair for global lightning? Well, the day before, I shampooed my hair to make sure there was no product and no build-up. The day before, I shampooed my hair with K18 Detox Shampoo. There is a video for that product, for the shampoo, here on my channel. There's a whole K18 playlist. I think the Detox Shampoo is sensational. We won't get into massive detail, but it does remove 99% of product build-up and minerals and metals from the hair in just one shampoo. So I did that the day before. I don't like to shampoo my own hair on the day of lightning. I don't think it's great for anybody really to shampoo their hair on the day that they're having a global lightener or a tint, a permanent colour applied to the scalp. It is a complete fallacy. It's not true that it's better if you have really, really dirty hair before you have a bleach, or if someone likes it greasy. That's not true. There's nothing in it at all. Bleach, you know, bleach is fierce and it's a fierce chemical reaction. It will eat through everything. So, you know, if you have greasy hair, it doesn't mean that it's better. I would always advise shampooing your hair the day before with something that clarifies the hair. Then, of course, I went in, well, you might not know, it might be your first time here. Hello. And if you're coming back for another look, hello. I went in with the K18 Mist. We went in with the K18 Mist. I sprayed my hair down first, this is it like with water, then I went in with the K18 Mist, I applied it liberally, and then we waited for 4 minutes before starting to apply the lightener. If you are watching this and you're a consumer at home and you bleach your own hair and you can't get hold of the mist, that's completely fine because you can use the leave-in molecular mask. You could use that the day before, and that's going to add strength to the hair and protect the hair in exactly the same way that the mist does. There seems to be a massive misunderstanding or you know, people just can't seem to grasp that K18 Mist and Mask do the same thing. They're just different delivery systems. It's all in that playlist of the K18 videos. Okay, so my hair is prepped. Let's get on to the next step. Mildly overexcited in that clip, and I didn't tell you why I prepped my hair with that. Well, the reason is my hair is very fine and very fragile. If I could, and if it would take it, I would be bleached. My hair would be bleached all the time, but my hair can't. You'll see from the process that I'm going to share with you why I don't think it's a good idea to continue to do my tiny little roots. But K18 Mist and the mask really help in that process. So, okay. Next up, it's bleach. What do I use to bleach my hair? Well, I always use a Blonde Or product from Wella. Historically, I have used Blonde Or granules. We didn't have those in the salon, so I actually ordered myself this, the Blondeplex Lightener. I have to say, I wish it wasn't called Blondoplex. Well, I don't hate it, that's a very strong word. I dislike it when brands use the word plex in everything, just because it's, you know, it's Olaplex's branding, and I just think it's a bit naff. Anyway, that's my own thoughts and feelings. This lightener, wow. I had used it a little bit in the salon. This is not sponsored. I bought it. I think it was about $27.99 for the canister that I bought. I have used it before a little bit in the salon that I rent a chair in. It's included in our service charge. But whenever it comes into the salon, other people use it very quickly before I ever get to it. So I just normally use the normal Blondor lightener without the plex in it. But we use the plex lightener on my hair, and I'm so impressed with the strength and the non-fluffiness of my hair. Obviously, I've already told you I use K18, and it's worth mentioning here that my mix for my hair, I'm about a level 6 with a little bit of grey, but I have very, you know, yellowy, green, hazily eyes. That's very close, I'm sure. So my hair is tricky to lift, as we'll get into in a second. But my mix, I mix the Blondorplex 1 to 1.5 with 20 volume. And that is a guideline for the product. I have lightened my hair before because the Blondorplex has 9 levels of lift. 9 levels of lift. And that, I think for me, that's quite important. I like a 9 level of lift lightener on my own hair. I have used the Blondor granules before, and I have mixed them 1 to 1 with 20 volume because that's a 7. Hold on. That's a 7 levels of lift lightener. But I thought the Blondorplex was amazing, and I will be using it. Now I have some. I will be using it of my own. I'll be using it in salon on clients. So that's the bleach, more of the process. Next up is application. Now, if you take only one thing away from this video, obviously it's going to be the toner formula, isn't it? But if you take only one thing away from this video, let it be this. You must apply plenty of lightener, loads. So I don't have a lot of hair and it's very short, and I mixed up 15 grams at a time. So then obviously that was with the peroxide at 1 to 1.5, and I mixed that up 4 times. So that is how much product went onto my hair. Absolutely loads. Lovely Russell, who I work with in the salon I've worked with for 11 years. He's my pal, he's my work colleague. We don't see an awful lot of each other in the salon anymore because we are all independent contractors. We all are, you know, freelance, and I'm in the salon when I'm in the salon. When I'm not, I'm making content. So, but Russell always lightens my hair for me. It's tricky to lighten my hair because I have very strict instructions. I'm not mean and nasty, but I do, you know, want him to kind of scoop the product on the brush and to kind of place it on. It's not about pushing it on, it's about putting a lot of product on as quickly as you can so that you can start the processing time all at the same time. So if you take one thing away from this, if you're bleaching shorter hair or longer hair, you know, whatever it is you're doing your own roots at home, please apply plenty of product. When I watch content on YouTube and I see people doing their own hair and they've got like 1 box of lightener and hair like this, it is the key to getting really great lightener and, you know, lightening, and a very even result is to apply plenty of product. Incubation, yes, probably the second most important thing in this video. I talk about it a lot here on my channel. If you're going to do global lightening, incubation is key. To be honest, if you're going to do highlights as well, incubation is key to get the products to work smarter for you. We have body heat. Oh yes, we do unwarm. It's quite warm here in my flat. And that is what helps us get the lift that we want at a lower volume of developer. I also talk a lot on my channel here about energy. You want to use the energy in the product plus your body heat to get you the lift. I mean, I've probably inserted some hilariously cringy video of myself with my lightener on, some tin foil, bit of foil on my head, making sure that everything is covered, and then some cling film. Really important to get that incubation. If I was doing a longer global lightener for the first time, you know, a virgin application, then the hair would be in foils 1 inch away from the scalp. Because my hair is so short and, there's not hair to put in a foil. We just go straight in with a lightener, and then we put the silver foil on, and then the cling film, sometimes a shower hat. I do prefer to use shower hats because I can reuse them, so they're more sustainable. But incubation is key, okay? In whatever video it was I inserted in there where I look like an egg. So whatever you're gonna do, if you're gonna apply lightener, please incubate it. Worth adding as well, make sure that if you are covering something that's going to be lifting, whether it's a permanent colour, whether it's a global lightener like my hair, make sure that it's not sealed completely tight because you need the oxygen. And the heat can get quite warm in there. I do get very warm when I'm sitting there with my lightener on. But how long does it stay on for? I wonder. So controversial yet bold, my lightener was on my hair, just the one application, for about 1 hour and 40 minutes. There will be gasps out there, but that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. And why is that the best way? Well, there is a train of thought, and I often get questions and comments, and I often talk to fellow hairdressers and they say, oh, so how many times did you bleach that? And my answer is always 1. Because of the exchange of energy, okay, when you're mixing lightener and applying it to the hair, if you can apply 1 application at the right ratio of product, use incubation, let it process for long enough, which we'll come to in a second, then you're going to get the right results. My hair is really stubborn, really stubborn. I'm a very hairy person, and even though my hair is very fine, like I've said, I have a lot of yellow in it. It's very golden, it's very warm because of my eye colour. Eye colour is a great indication of how someone's hair is going to lift. If someone's got very pale blue eyes, their hair's going to lift brilliantly. Often, not always 100%, but often, most of the time. So processing times are really key. Now, and there are lots of other hair professionals who agree with me. There are some that don't, but there are lots that do. There is absolutely nothing wrong with processing something over the manufacturer's guidelines. That's exactly what those guidelines are. They're to protect the person that has manufactured the product. So most lighteners say 45 to 50 minutes, but on a global lightener, I always process over that. Obviously, not if the hair is compromised. If I've never done the client's hair before, they're a pop star or they've come to me. Yes, I do some pop stars' hair sometimes. Shh, don't tell anyone. Or they've come to me through Instagram. I will watch their hair like a hawk. I do not double book global bleaching, the end. But I always process for longer because taking the product off, drying the hair off and applying another round of lightener can cause a lot more damage than processing the hair for slightly longer. Of course, there are exceptions to this, but it's a huge part of my global lightning theory, if you like, and there are loads more videos here on my channel that go deeper into global lightning, into that area of it specifically. I think there is one all about processing times. There's a playlist about bleaching anyway. So yeah, about 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yes, it was quite hot underneath that incubation. Yes, my scalp was slightly red when it came off. Yes, it takes about a week for my scalp to get back to normal, but that's how you get the best results. So now it's toner time. Oh yes, I don't think that I have a fanfare special effect sound, but if I do, I will insert one there. Or maybe a round of applause, one of those. So I use Shades of Q Gloss to tone my hair, okay? I'm going to put the formula on screen now in both grams and ratios. I know that sometimes I post everything in ratios, but I know sometimes people find it confusing, but I always use ratios so that people can scale up or down, but we'll have it in both, okay? Now, Shades of Q Gloss, first of all, there was 20 grams of clear. I mixed up this amount of product because we wanted to put it on really fast with a brush and a bowl and get it on as quickly as we could at a section. I always apply my toners at the section. I find it much more comfortable for me and for the client, and I feel that I can be much more precise. So there was 20 grams of clear, 5 grams of 9V. Why was there so much clear? You might be asking. To shear it out, because we had the canvas, because we'd used the ratio, we'd applied the right amount of product, we'd used incubation. So 20 grams of clear, 5 grams of 9V, 2 grams of 9P, and 1 gram of 9T. okay? So all of that went on my hair, mixed of course with processing solution. I get questions all the time. Can I mix Shades of Gloss with this? Can I mix it with this? Can I mix it with this developer, this peroxide? No, you can't. You must, and I'm really adamant about that. You cannot. You must mix it with the processing solution. You know, I don't work for Redken. I've just used their product for a long time. I do some freelance work for them, but I've used their product for a long time. You must mix it with the processing solution, okay? So we mixed it up, equal amounts, and then applied it very, very quickly to my hair. But why did I choose that formula? And we processed for the full 20 minutes. I chose that formula because I wanted something that was very sheer, and I wanted to counteract the yellow that was still left. There was a tiny bit of yellow in my hair. I'm sure you've seen that. There was a tiny bit of yellow that was left, but I didn't want to be silver or grey. I just wanted it to be a very pure, sparkly, so it still needed a bit of gold in it, in my opinion. You don't want to get rid of all of the gold because then it would look darker. Remember, when we tone the hair cooler, the result gets, that's right, darker. So there are my formulas, and they're yours to have and to, you know, this is quite a good base to add other things to as well. But I generally use 3 or 4 parts clear when I want a very pastel-y result on a level 10 blonde, or 9.5 in my point, blonde. So after the full 20 minutes, we shampooed. I always shampoo off my Shades of Gloss. I shampoo off every hair colour that I use, even very gently. If I'm using a direct dye, I will shampoo it out slightly just to make sure all of the pigment is out of the hair, or off of the scalp, really, mainly. Not out of the hair, but off the scalp. So that brings us to Aftercare. And I know that some of you will want to see a more up-close image or video of me with my new hair. So I'll insert maybe a picture in here, or a video of me being silly and dancing around when I was very excited the morning after having it done. So Aftercare, let's talk Aftercare very briefly. It's very important. First of all, once my hair was shampooed, I then did apply some K18 leave-in molecular mask. I will be using that every time I shampoo my hair now. For the duration of my lightener. I find it stops my hair going fluffy, and it helps my toner last longer. But this is a huge top tip if you are having a global lightener for the first time, or something to help your clients with if you're a hair professional. And I don't shampoo my hair for the first 5, 6, 7 days after I've had a global lightener. And that's because the hair is very fragile. It needs time just to settle. It needs time for the keratin in the hair to harden, for the, you know, for everything just to kind of go, ah. So that would be my advice, is don't shampoo hair that's freshly globally lightened very soon after it's done. My scalp was sensitive. It wasn't sore, but I did feel like I'd had a facelift for about 2 days. My scalp is now back to normal. I'm back to using my normal routine of you know, Aftercare, which interestingly is in one of my recent videos, which is about protecting your hair in the sun. You can actually see, well, you can't see me because I'm not taking you in the shower, but I take you through my full process of shampooing my fresh bleach out for the first time whilst I was away on holiday. So I'll link it down below as well, so you can go and check that out. But Aftercare is really important. You want, you know, something that's going to make your hair strong. That's why I use K18. I like dimethicone-based leave-in conditioners when my hair is lightened, because they make it very slippy, applied after the K18. And of course, I use a good shampoo and conditioner, something that's going to address the pH balance and something that's going to make my toner last. I also, very briefly, if I want to refresh my hair color, my tone, I don't use Shades of Gloss frequently. I do that once at the beginning, probably halfway through, and then again towards the end. But in between, I mix up my own color conditioner, if you like, using direct dye. So I use a lot of a clear direct dye. I'm using Pavana at the moment. And then I add a tiny little dot of amethyst into that, and I mix up a soft lilac. I don't really like off-the-shelf violet shampoos and conditioners. I find they're far too pigmented, and they make people's hair look purple. And I want my colour to be zingy and fresh and have that, you know, just off icy with lots of reflect. I don't want it to be like drab and dull. So that's why I stay away from off the shelf violet shampoos and conditioners, and I mix up my own to refresh my colour. So there you have it, the full process of me going blonde, hopefully with some top tips and information and education that will help you whether you're a hair pro or a consumer at home. I always think these videos are going to be very short, this type of video. No, they never are they? Because I want to get as much information as I can across. Great hair from me to you for free. If you have enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, then you know exactly what to do. A reminder, make sure you hit that bell so you get your notifications, because I know a lot of people don't see the content that I'm posting. And then also, I do have my Instagram, which is Craig's World of Hair, which you can check out. I post daily over there, sometimes twice a day. Goodness me. A huge thank you for watching this. If you got to the end of the video, you all take lots of care, and I'll see you all in the next one.